What's going on, y'all? It's Pirate Trip Podcast. It's me, Nathan, aka Tef. This is my boy, 4 Point Play, and this is.
Nathaniel, that's my other name. Bro.
And this is Muhammad right here. You tell him what's up.
What's up, guys?
All right, bro. Let's get straight to it.
You gonna give me the mic? There was a big trade that happened, bro. You still laughing about that one? He been saying the same jokes since like we saw each other today, but now since for a while before that. But OG Anunoby got traded to the Knicks. I will pull up the full deal, but it was a trade for RJ Barrett and Emmanuel quickly. I just want to I want to know what you guys thought about the deal in general, and who do you think came out of that trade as a winner?
I mean, me personally, I think the Knicks definitely won, just because now they have that, 3-and-D. He's one of the best 3-and-D players in the league. And he's tall. He played defense. He's great. So, yeah, I think he can help the Knicks out in a very big way. Once they play teams like Giannis, they play the Bucks, they're gonna be pretty solid. They're gonna play the Suns. All those teams that just have great perimeter scores. They're gonna have somebody there to hopefully slow them down.
As far as the winners for this trade,
Who did you say was the winner? You said the Knicks win. All right. My bad. Go ahead.
anyways, as far as the winners for this trade, I feel like it can go either way with this because, on one hand, you could say for Toronto, they picked up two pretty good up and coming players, in Emmanuel quickly and RJ Barrett, whereas for the Knicks, they picked up a pretty established, I would say, defensive player and OG. But if I were to pick, I would go with the Knicks on this one. I feel like they got, because they're with the squad they already have. It's not a championship team or anything, obviously, but I feel like they could do something with this.
I got first. I'm gonna say I think the Raptors won this trade. Let me say from ESPN, the Knicks acquired forward OG for RJ Emmanuel and a second round pick from the Raptors, and the Knicks get OG obviously, Precious, and Malachi Flynn. But I think that is just the Raptors are kind of just, when you look at the reports coming out of Toronto, they always think they're gonna get the highest return for their players. Like I saw one where they were saying OG was gonna get you can get 4 first round picks for OG, but it's even still, the Knicks gave up a lot for this deal. OG is an expiring contract after this season, and there's not a player option or a team option on the deal, so he really can't just leave right after for bigger money if he wants to go sign with Detroit or something. But with this deal, you gave up RJ, who's he's been a little bit stagnant, but he's still he's been giving you 18, 19. He's still an important part to this team. And then Emmanuel quickly, who is arguably the sixth man of the year. So giving up that much for a player, even though Emmanuel is also an expiring contract, just giving up that much for a player that he'll push them forward. He'll definitely help them out. He's better fit for this team, but it's just so those assets are so you gave up a lot, and it's kind of an overpay for him. That's kind of what I'm thinking about. But you said the Knicks won. What was your reason again?
I just feel like with the squad they already have, they could definitely do something with this. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think he's overpaid though. You're talking about
I'm saying the deal is an overpay to get.
I feel like OG's kind of undervalued. I feel like he probably. I honestly feel like he deserved it.
That much for him?
How much was it again?
RJ, a second round pick.
No, how much was OG? Oh yeah, I think he's worth it.
For only 1 year.
Oh, that's a 1 year deal.
Expiring contract.
Ah, shit, boy.
If it was a 4 year deal, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, he's gonna leave. I'm pretty sure he's gonna leave.
You think he's gonna leave where?
I know he's gonna. I don't know where, but I don't think I don't see him staying long term.
I think he. I mean, I like. If there's one team, I would say. If there's one team, I would say I would really like to see him on. It would be the Pacers, most definitely, because with Tyrese, with how they run their offense, he would, it would be. That's the number one place, and maybe they even have the money for it, because I know how Bruce Brown's contract is situated. But still, this is gonna be really interesting. We're gonna see how it plays out. And do you have anything else to say about this trip before we go to our next subject?
All right. Well, I mean, so you think Toronto won, and I think the Knicks won. I don't think I took into account that he was only there for a year, but it's also like, what do you think the Knicks needed to get that push to actually make them contenders?
I think what they need isn't on the market right now, and it's not like that's a okay thing to like. You just gotta wait, play your cards right, develop your young guys, and pretty much if you find the star available, like if Joel Embiid was, if the Sixers look different this year and Joel Embiid was available, then you go make that trade. If maybe Donovan Mitchell is open, you go get him maybe. Donovan Mitchell is fit. I've seen a lot of reports like that, but that's kind of iffy. But that's the type of deal I would want them to make, because this is, if you want to go trade for a star now, an all NBA player, it's going to be harder because you don't have RJ or Emmanuel Quickley, which if they were going to trade for a star, those two would probably be a part of the deal.
Definitely, I get it, but I don't know. I feel like OG just fits. But yeah, like you said with the Pacers, because the Pacers just give up way too many points.
Yeah, that too.
So I feel like he would definitely help them, and it's just another shooter for them at the end of the day. So that would be like a little field day for Haliburton. But yeah, man.
Also, that same day, the Pistons went up against the Raptors went up against the Pistons, and the Pistons broke their 28-game losing streak, the longest streak now in NBA history. What do you guys think about the Pistons right now and just moving forward? What do you think about them?
I mean, me personally, I was just baffled. Like, how do you lose that many games? I feel like they got the talent to win games, but I don't know. Like the loss against the Jazz when all those players were injured, I don't know. I was really shook when they actually lost that game. I feel like, what's his name, Colin Sexton, when he took that shit out. He was playing his heart out, but yeah, man. Other than that, Cade, he's been doing his thing like the past 6-7 games.
Pretty sure. This whole season, honestly.
He's doing his thing, but it's like these past couple maybe 6, 7, 8 games, he's been scoring at a high level. He's been getting his own shots. The team just needs to, they're all young as hell. So I feel like if they could figure that out, the team has a future. Just like what we were saying about the Magic and the Pacers. Are those the two teams we were talking about
before?
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like, and then if they could also get them some help, because at the end of the day, they still need somebody to go to, because every good team that you can think of has two good scorers, two people that could take over a game. So maybe Cade just needs that too.
Who do you think on the Pistons right now, like, is most likely to fill up that role for them?
I feel like nobody. Who's their center?
Duran.
Bro, sometimes I be seeing him scoring, but it's like Ivy's not really playing like that. They cut his minutes. He was playing really good last year, so.
Bojan too. Bojan is there. He be balling out here and there, but it's not like a.
But it's not consistent.
He's not gonna be your second best player on the championship. Like, he's not gonna be a second best player on it. He's a really good role player. That's kind of his fit in the league.
And I feel like he just needs somebody who's not a role player. Like, you think about the Mavericks, they got Kyrie and Luka. The Suns got Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant. Lakers got AD and LeBron. Bro,
Not even just those teams, just like middle of the road teams are kind of considered average. You got guys like Sengun and Jalen and Van Vliet. Just looking at like kind of average teams, just even the average compared to where they're at right now. I wouldn't say the Timberwolves are average, but he said Nasri just in case y'all didn't hear it. But just like when they don't really have that another offensive, I would say, sidekick to Cade, but it's just in general the whole just everything with that organization right now just looks rough. But Mohamed, what you think about the Pistons?
Free Cade, first and foremost. Bench Killian Hayes, second most. He needs to get back in development. That's something that is very apparent to me. He's just not really working with the system. As far as everything else,
Killian?
Killian?
No, he's been in the league since 2020.
Yeah, he's cooked, bro.
Yeah, but did he play in 2020?
Yeah, he was getting some playing time. especially like.
And he was on Detroit.
Yeah, the whole time.
Yeah, Killian Hayes is a mess, bro. I can't lie.
He got drafted before Haliburton too.
But I thought he was playing pretty solid like last year, right?
He was.
Nah.
Like he's a defender first.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's like not like I don't think
He's not
playing good enough for him to get this much.
Yeah, he's not developing too well offensively. But other than that, the team is young, and I feel like just some development is needed. Perhaps some chemistry could be developed as well as the season goes on. I mean, 27 games, that should never happen. I'm not going to lie.
27 or 28?
27. 28, yeah. What do you mean 27?
Sorry. My bad, bro.
No, I think you said
My bad, bro.
72. I was going to say.
Lagger. Yeah, 28 games should never happen, but, Pistons. It's the Pistons. I'm not even surprised, to be honest with you. Head coach should be fired for this, to be completely honest with you.
They're not going to fire him.
I know they're not going to fire him because he finessed him out that deal, boy. Let me tell you that. Boy, he got a
He's
deal.
the most paid, right?
Yeah.
More than Pop.
Pop.
Think about that. He's getting paid more than Greg Popovich, the dude that gave him how many rings? 5 rings?
Yeah, I don't see Kid Cunningham staying here. Y'all talking about
The Spurs. He helped give the Spurs 5 rings.
You said them. I thought you were talking about Detroit.
I'm talking about he took 2 rings out of Detroit, if anything.
Yeah. Like I said, you guys were talking about pairing another person with Cade. When Cade's contract is up, I don't think he's staying here.
Where would he sign then?
Probably the highest bidder, to be honest with you. But
I mean, people don't rookies don't leave for nothing. They don't usually do that. If you leave,
leaving it.
I'm saying you usually sign that rookie.
The thing is, you gotta think about it from this perspective. This is not a winning organization.
Yeah, but I'm saying.
But it can be.
They're gonna.
When was the last time they were a winning organization?
I'm saying it can be.
The last time they were a winning organization, where were you? Think about that.
The last time they made I was doing a video about this.
I was 5, bro.
It was around 2008 when they were like last. Not here, bro. But I'm saying here this thing. Dang, I completely lost my train of thought when I took this mic. You can have this back, bro.
It's like I was saying, the last time the Pistons were a winning team, I don't even think we were in preschool yet.
No, we were.
Okay, we were maybe going into preschool.
No, we were in elementary.
2008, bro.
Yeah. Okay, I remember what I was gonna say now.
We were in preschool 2008, bro.
Dude, all right. So the thing with the Pistons is they're a bad team, so they would be even more, they would want to sign him even more so because they're not that big of a free agent pool. Like they don't get a lot of free agents, the team. So they're gonna sign him to that max, and that money, he's probably gonna sign it regardless. Rookies, first overall, they don't let your first overall pick isn't just gonna walk out the door with you doing anything. Even if he's a restricted free agent, they're gonna sign him to whatever they say because they want him to stay on the team long term. If anything, if he does leave, he would sign it and do what some other players do, where they sign it, and then a year or 2 afterwards, then they request a trade.
If he knows it's best for him, he should leave.
I mean, sure, but there's not even like a place where he should definitely go.
Yeah.
Who?
That's not the case right now.
But I'm saying if I'm gonna leave the Pistons and I'm gonna get this much money, I better go somewhere that's gonna either give me a whole bunch of money equal to that or give me way more wins.
Okay, first of all, we don't even know if they're gonna give him the money.
They're gonna give him the money.
Right now, they're gonna give him back.
Yeah, they're gonna give him the bag regardless because he's the first overall pick. They're gonna.
Yeah, but they have multiple first overall picks.
They don't.
Is Durham not?
Duran was number 5. I mean, first overall. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. He's playing he's averaging 23 this season, and with such bad spacing, he's still been a really good playmaker for them. He's been doing really good. So they're not just gonna walk. Yeah.
Well, me personally, I just don't think he's gonna leave the Pacers. I mean the Pistons, and that's only because that team has potential, but also they can sign people, bro. I don't think anybody on that team is making money in the first place, so it's just they can sign people to match up with him, I mean, me personally, I don't know who. As of right now, I don't know who he would go with, perfectly. I can think of a couple, but it's regardless, they're gonna. He's their best player. If he leaves, they have even less wins that they have right now. So it's it's whatever, bro. I think they're gonna sign him regardless.
Going back to this is our next subject. The Twitter account NBA_University had a little bracket about the best offensive player besides Jokic in the league, and they already went through all of it already. But I want to ask you guys the Elite Eight, they called it. So I'm gonna ask you guys between the two players in that group, who is the best player? Who's the better player offensively? First is Luka and Kevin Durant. You go ahead first.
I'm gonna say Luka's going crazy this season. I'm pretty. How many 50-point games does he have? I don't know. I seen ever since he had a baby, he was averaging like 36. So, yeah, and then he also dropped 50 on the Suns not too long ago. I don't know. Just because he's averaging more, I'm gonna say him. But
Offensively, this is not even just score, just offensively too, because you're not even including the playmaking he brings too.
Does that bring defensively as well?
No, offensive, the best offensive player.
I say
You
right
said
now,
offensive, you gonna bring up
Why
defense?
you dragging it, bro?
All right, bro. I'm just saying.
I'll say right now, Luka's a better offensive player.
Mama, what you think?
I think. Sorry. I think. Man. KD's a little older now. You know, if we're talking about scoring Chippy and KD, I'm going with that nigga. But in this current day and age, as much as it pains me to say it, Luka Doncic is a beast, bro.
So you picking Luka?
Yeah. It's that baby fever. I don't know if that's what got him going or whatever, but
That's not what baby fever means. All right. The next one is Steph Curry versus LeBron James. Oh, I'm saying Luka. I think Luka is the better offensive player because Luka. I would say I'll probably lean towards him just when it comes to scoring the ball between KD, and that's KD's strongest. This is strong suit. But LeBron and Curry, I think I might go with LeBron simply because also that playmaking really has me picking him over Steph. What y'all think?
Well, I think with Steph this year, it's just the lack of help. You know, if a team is just gonna play like, their scheme is to worry about Steph. Like, you've been seeing how the others are playing. They got no Draymond who's passing that ball around. Klay Thompson, I feel like he's had spurts this year where he has like 30-point games or whatever, but they're not consistent. Andrew Wiggins, whatever, he has his little spurts too, but it's not consistent either. So I feel like for Steph, it's harder to be a great offensive player when you're the only offensive player that's being consistent. So I say LeBron, but yeah, I feel like LeBron's been more consistent with his scoring. That's all I can say. That's why I'd give it to him.
I personally, I'm just taking LeBron over Curry.
Just in general?
Just in general, yeah. That's just me, though. And even right now, if I'm not mistaken, I think Curry might be in a little shooting slump.
Yeah, he has been.
Yeah, so
he broke his streak of making.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. So in this current time, Mr. 40-year-old Braun.
He turned 39, yeah.
Yeah, 39. No.
Oh, he's not 40 yet.
But he's, pushing 40.
He basically 40. Yeah. Yeah, taking score. He's still effectively scoring even in limited time. Yeah, I'm gonna go LeBron on this one.
The next one is probably going to take the least amount of time, but it's Joel Embiid versus Kawhi Leonard. Who y'all got? I'm gonna go Embiid for this one.
I feel like that's all of us.
You picking Kawhi?
No.
So then why you make that face? So we all pick Embiid. All right. So the last one I think it might be the most interesting one. It's between we've talked about him a good amount in this podcast. Shea and Giannis. Who do you think is the better offensive player? And you want me to start off? I thought about it for a while. Kind of just if you want to consider everything, I think it's very close. Let me look at the voting. It was like 47-53 or something like that. 51-49. And I think if you want to say either one is fine, but I'm probably going to lean towards Shea. But what y'all think?
Well, first, I'm going to say Shea. That's just who I think is a much better offensive player. Just because I wouldn't say much better because Giannis, he had that 64-point game. But I feel like with Giannis and Shea, they're both just really good at getting their free throws in.
Giannis gets to the free throw line. I don't know about getting those free throws in.
Yeah, I'm saying like getting to that line. I feel like both of them primarily, most of the time they're finishing around the hoop. The only difference is Shea's gonna shoot the mid range. He's an alright 3-point shooter. He doesn't really attempt them too much. Like tonight, I'm pretty sure when I checked earlier, he was like 1 for 2. He had like 24 points. But yeah, I feel like Shea is just he's a more versatile scorer. So I'm gonna say he's better offensively, and he plays point guard, shooting guard. You can't really tell. So
Going off offense, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say that Giannis is not that guy. Yeah. If we're talking offensive bag here, skill wise, footwork, all that good stuff, I'm gonna go Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I don't know if it's just me, but Giannis still looks raw. Like he just looks like he has a raw player build, like not player build, but like play type.
Like
You know what I'm saying?
He still hasn't polished.
Yeah, like his game doesn't look polished to me.
I'm gonna add on that.
Like it does not look polished to me at all.
You add on right now.
But it's effective. It doesn't matter because like you could say that with quite a few players. Like
who
you,
else is unpolished?
Dude, don't throw me on the
Because
spot
you
like
just said
that. bro.
someone else is too
I'm just saying, you take Nas Reed and you take Giannis. You see what I'm saying here? Like what? I'm just saying.
So who is it that Giannis always be training with?
He's training with Hakeem. You're talking about
Yeah, Hakeem. I feel like it's just
not translating.
it's not translating, but I'm saying like if you ever watch Jimmy Butler play basketball, bro, his footwork is just crazy. Like I'm not too big of a Jimmy Butler fan, but I'm saying he knows like what to do around the hoop. He actually has like post moves, I feel like Giannis is more just using the athleticism, using the size to bump somebody out the way and getting the foul that way, or just laying it up, dunking it. But I feel like if he had maybe imagine if he had like a Scott Hook.
Yeah.
Imagine if he had like a little shimmy, like around the hoop, like little. You got
the Michael Jordan logo done.
That's I feel like if he had footwork like that, Giannis would be unstoppable. Cause it's just at that point he could just catch it like right next to the hoop, around the hoop. Cause I see him attempting that little 1 foot fade away or like 1 foot, little step back jumper.
His most polished, refined move?
Euro step.
It's a Euro step. Yeah. But bro, imagine if he could score like those, like Tim Duncan. If he had like Tim Duncan little.
My guy's cooking something up here.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say because I probably watch him maybe the most because he's one of my favorite players in the league. But just after Chris Middleton got hurt, it just seems so much like it just seems so just like harder for the team to generate points in general. So with that, I don't really maybe it's a little bit less like that with Dame now on the team, but just Giannis has to fight for stuff way more, and I feel like because he's kind of really taking a dip because he was showing progression when it comes to him in the post, him with the more polished moves, but just now it seems kind of like it's still working. So I'm gonna bump into you, get this layup regardless.
But he's always been like that.
Yeah, but I'm saying it seemed like he was making steps to kind of have more of a skill set outside of the paint, but like after that after Chris got hurt, it was kind of just like, well, you'd only get a chance to kind of slowly develop your game when your best player. So you got to go. He was against the Celtics. We got to go get this win. Oh, he's not even playing today. Oh, he put up 3 points. He put up 7 points today. You know what I'm saying? But now with Dame, I haven't really I'm kind of just thinking about it now, like my kind of my view on this. Like I'm gonna start maybe a couple episodes later. I'm gonna add on to this conversation. But we're all picking Shea, right? Yeah. We're going to talk about another guard. He in the East now, Tyrese Haliburton. He had 20 assists, which was his career high. And then I wrote that down on what we're going to talk about. And then the next game, he had 23 assists, which was another, career high. And I think it's a franchise high as well. So out of, all the playmakers in the league, where do you think he ranks in that group? And, is he a top 5 playmaker?
Yeah, I'd say Tyrese is a top 5 playmaker. It's just his assist to turnover ratio is just insane. What is it? He went like 60 assists with no turnover.
Yeah, he had no turnovers out of that whole span. So
Yeah.
43 to 0.
It's nice, bro. And then he had more assists than turnover. He had more assists than points because it was 20 and 23. But yeah, and then he also did that stare down on that one reporter. talking about some goddamn. He's a wannabe. Bro, shut your ass up. My fault.
So what do you think he ranks though out of the playmakers?
I say top 5.
Yeah. So we're gonna say Jokic, right? We're gonna say why you side eye? You don't think so? Okay. Luka, my voice cracked. Luka. Let me try to think who else. LeBron. Say names if you think they're in the conversation too. I'm trying to think who else. Harden. No. Maybe. I would say Tyrese. I would say Tyrese is probably a better playmaker than Harden. But I feel like some of that maybe not even just be playmaker. It's just because Harden is a worse scorer now, and like scoring plays a part in how well you can play make because teams focus on you more when it comes. I'm saying no. I'm saying Haliburton is better, but he probably is like top 4 in my opinion. Tyrese when it comes to playmakers. So we all
I might put him top 3.
over who? LeBron? Luka? No, I'm gonna say maybe Luka's higher.
The thing with Luka is he's averaging triple doubles with
Well, we're just talking about assists, right?
Yeah, but he's averaging triple doubles with the assists. You know, like 13 assists, 14 assists a game.
Yeah, but it's not hard for him. You gotta understand he's the main focus. But Tyrese is also the main focus now that I think about it.
And he also has Kyrie too. You can say that.
That's true.
I mean, Kyrie hasn't really been playing,
Kyrie's
so
not playing like Kyrie, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
You want to talk about just like personnel? Kyrie is a really good second player that they can. What you mean? So
we're gonna say Tyrese Haliburton is a top 3, top 4 playmaker in the league right now. I feel like he's outdone. What's his name too? Not outdone like throughout his whole career, but like I wouldn't consider like Chris Paul.
right now?
Yeah,
No, not right now. I was trying to think like.
that's not crazy to say.
Oh, Darius Garland. I just looked up a list of other players. Do you think he's a better playmaker than Darius Garland?
I feel like Darius Garland is primarily a playmaker.
And not what's it called?
Like he's pass first before he scores.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying yes or no?
I'm saying Darius Garland is not a better playmaker than Tyrese, but he is top 5.
He does go to work. Darius Garland goes to work.
What about Trae Young?
I think Tyrese is better than Trae Young in terms of assist.
You think Haliburton over Trae overall?
I don't know. I kind of want to say yes, but I don't know if I truly believe it.
I think I might.
Right now, you don't think he's better than him right now?
Like the thing is just better player. I would probably say Trae, but who I'd rather have on my team, I'm picking Haliburton because I feel like Haliburton's play style is more like you can gain more success with that type of play style rather than with the Trae Young type of play style. So who are you picking?
I'm picking Trae Young.
What about LaMelo Ball?
Tyrese.
Tyrese. So he's probably top 5. Then we're gonna say he's like lower to middle top 5. Tyrese. All right. Well, the next thing we're gonna touch on is I'm gonna ask you guys. We're gonna talk about 2 different franchises. We can compare their. Let's just do what's it called. I'm gonna tell you with 2 different franchises, and you're gonna tell me what franchise you consider to be more successful in their, history. That's one of them. So the first one is the Heat versus the Knicks. Overall success in the team's entire history.
I would go first.
I say the Heat.
Really?
Yeah.
Because even back then, the Knicks weren't really like on.
They have like 3-4 championships.
They do.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
In like the 70s, Willis Reed era.
That crack academic era. No thanks.
I mean the what's it called? Yeah.
I'm gonna say the Heat, just because I feel like they have the most recent, and I feel like they've still been championship level since the last time they won a championship. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero. They've been to the finals twice in the past 4 years, 5 years, 4 years.
4.
Yeah. So I feel like Miami still got that culture to where it's hard work over there. You're gonna make it if you actually stick together as a team, and we've seen that. Their squad wasn't that good last year.
No, it wasn't.
It was not that good last year, but
It
they still made it. Bam Adebayo is that guy, man. Buy me it.
Bro, we messed with Bam. This is the Bam.
Somebody told me I look like him today.
You don't look like Bam. You don't look like Bam at all.
He don't look like Bam.
Hey, just so you might not be hearing him this episode, but he just said someone said he looked like Bam. No one really said that. He's trying to hype himself up, trying to think he.
Somebody said I look like Bam today. I swear to God.
That person was a liar, or that person.
Somebody told me I look like Jared Jackson too.
Jaren Jackson? You don't look like Jaren Jackson. Do the little Grizzly dance. Maybe you look like Jaren Jackson then. No, I just did it pretty much. So wait, who you picking though?
Between who?
The Knicks and Heat.
Yeah, Heat.
I think.
I like to throw in something that really puts the cherry on top for me was the D Wade O'Neal championship.
I think it's kind of a hard. I would say they're kind of close to each other, but really, the Heat have been existing since the '90s, around like the '90s. So in that span, they had that Hardaway Alonzo era. Then they had the D Wade Flash era with O'Neal. Then they had LeBron there, and then they kind of had the little post LeBron, Chris Bosh, Luol Deng, yeah. And then afterwards, it's Jimmy, and then there hasn't really been a point in their I would say maybe around 2009, like right before LeBron showed up. That's when they weren't really doing that well. But in general, like the team hasn't been like a bad team for a extended period of time. Versus if you want to talk about the Knicks, they have. But so I'm probably gonna maybe say the Heat. I'm kind of surprised. Like I'm kind of speaking out. I wasn't really thinking who I was gonna pick. Yeah. But next one is the Bulls versus the Spurs.
I feel like this one is going to be the toughest one just because most of their chips, or all of them actually, the 6 that the Bulls won, same team.
Damn minute. How many did the Spurs win?
They have 5, I think.
They have 5.
It's 5 to 6. It's 5 to 6. I mean, I'm going to say I like the Spurs. I'm going to say the Spurs are a better franchise just because it was like more of a modern basketball. I really do enjoy modern basketball. So I'm going to say the Spurs.
I kind of want to say mine quick because I just kind of look at it like, okay, they were, dynasty teams when they was winning those rings. So I'm going to just look, okay, outside of those rings, what have those teams done? So the Bulls, the only thing they really have is, maybe Artis Gilmore, but Derrick Rose for a couple of years. And then besides that, they don't really have, Jimmy was good. They made, but it's not like they had a really successful team versus if you want to compare the Spurs, besides the Tim Duncan era, they had Kawhi for a couple of years afterwards. Before that, they had David Robinson. And even before that, they had George Gervin. So I'm going to probably go to Spurs, honestly. I think the Spurs have a more successful franchise than the Bulls.
I agree. The Spurs do have a more successful franchise in terms of player
French fries?
franchise in terms of fucking sorry, excuse my French.
Go ahead, bro.
In terms of player development, yeah, okay, cool. They got George Gervin, they got Duncan Robinson. Well, okay, fine.
What you mean, Duncan Robinson? You're killing me today. Sorry. Just think who you want to say. Bro.
I can't remember his name, bro.
David Robinson?
David Robinson. They got Timmy, yeah. But this is Michael Jordan we're talking about. Let's be serious. You feel me? Like, I go off championships. You feel me? That's the overall success. That's the overall success rate.
No, the Heat or the
So, with that being said,
the Heat have less rings. Yeah. No, they have the same amount. Because he's gonna say I
with,
go off championships.
with that being said, for this specific scenario, I'm going off championships. With that being said, 5v6. 6. I'm going with the Bulls.
The Bulls.
That triangle offense always gonna work, bro.
The last one is Celtics versus Lakers. So
Correct me if I'm wrong. Celtics have more championships.
They're tied now. They're tied.
Oh damn!
17-17.
If we're going off potential, now we can only go off potential.
No, we cannot.
What are you saying?
You can.
They all have stars in the
You
past.
can back to that, but
Okay, but I'm just if you want to go star for star.
Star for star.
If you want to go star for star and kind of the team's low points, and I'm gonna probably go Lakers because they had they had the better players. They had Shaq, they had Kobe, Magic, Kareem, Wilt, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor. Even beforehand, they had George Mikan. They have all those stars on the team. LeBron now, even. And when you compare that, like, who is the second best player or fifth best player in Celtics history? You're going to go to, Paul Pierce's, maybe even John Havlicek's or Sam Jones, Bob Cousy's. But just, player for player, I'm going to just say, I'm probably going to say, the Lakers got that.
I mean, me personally, I'm gonna say the Lakers just because they've won in like all the eras that we could think of, and yeah, like you said, player for player, it's just like I don't even think 2020. I feel like 2020, the bubble championship is the realest one, bro. I don't care. Because, bro, there was literally it was a controlled environment. There was nothing there to
We gonna talk about
distract
this
you.
another day.
Regardless, I'm just saying, player for player, Lakers got Kobe, they got Shaq, they got Kareem, they got, LeBron, they got AD, they got all of them, whatever, Kobe, sure, bro. But I'm saying they have the most recent championship. Celtics have had talent, yeah, but what have they done with it? In the last 5 years, what have the Celtics done? They had a team. They had a team with Kyrie, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward.
And Terry Rozier.
Okay.
They had that whole team and they did nothing.
Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were not even developed then.
Yes, bro.
We're just trying to be gross. Have some gross.
I'm saying it's a real deal. Like
Let me give you a real rebuttal.
Lakers better, bro.
So I'm gonna go ahead and switch my argument here and say that the Lakers are better for, I would say, a pretty significant reason right here. I was watching a video a couple weeks back, and if you really think about it, the original Big Three, or
You talking about that Dom 2K video?
can you let me finish, bro?
I'll let you go. My bad.
God, he always trying to cut me off, bro.
Now I just wanna
They
ask
hurt.
you
Can I finish? Can I finish? Thank you. The Big Three, the original Big Three of Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen.
Trying to help you out, bro. Go ahead.
Ray Allen. It honestly was not as successful as we all like. For some reason, it's not as successful as I remember it being. Can you guys agree to that?
I would say, yeah, I watched the video too, so I'd agree. I think Dom made a great argument. Shout out to Dom 2K. So you picking the Lakers though, but nah, because we trying to, saying, let's just be honest, bro. You feel me? But the last topic we're gonna talk about is this is gonna be the last podcast of the year. 2020. We're recording this on New Year's Eve, so I kind of got a couple of noteworthy things from this calendar year about to happen in the NBA, and you guys can say what you want to say about these things. It's first I want to talk about LeBron's scoring record. He all-time scorer now. Both Damian Lillard and Donovan Mitchell had 71. Denver won their first ever championship. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Damian Lillard, and James Harden all got traded in this year. Joel Embiid won his MVP. The Kings made the playoffs. The Miami Heat beat the Bucks on the way to the finals. First seed beating the eighth. The moment with Pat Bev in the camera when he pointed at the camera. Let me see. The thing with Shannon Sharp and the Grizzlies, that whole beef. All the stuff that happened with Draymond. What's it called? We ain't gonna speak. What's it called? All the stuff that happened with John Morant. That stuff happened too. And yeah, that's kind of a lot of the stuff I had written down. So in general, what you guys think about this year when it comes to the NBA?
To be honest, bro, I think it's been a really good year overall. So been a lot of memorable moments. A lot of tight T-shirts. It's just been overall, it's just been a great year, bro. You feel me? Like, I just love the trajectory of where the league is going. the in-season tournament was a great ad. Whoever came up with that idea, you're going somewhere. But yeah, tight t-shirts.
I look. The one thing I just wanted to say was these two right here talking down on John Moran.
When did I?
I told y'all he gonna come back.
When did I?
That boy 4-0. I mean, he just lost, but it's all right. He was sick.
4-1.
He about to be 4-2. I'm pretty sure they're losing right now.
Winning off bullshit. I hope you know that. 2 of these games he's won off
Hey,
bullshit.
all I'm saying is first game back he hit a game winner.
With the Pelicans.
They
That
literally
also
bailed
crazy.
him out and called
All
him
right.
foul. Straight up. The man's straight up. Called foul.
Yeah, you can end it right now. I just had to stand up.
All right, man. That's gonna be the end of this podcast video.
End of 2023. Last episode 2023. You feel me? We got a Spotify now. It's in the comments. You can watch the episodes, listen to the episodes on Spotify. We're gonna try to put on Apple Music and other stuff later. But hey, thank y'all for watching. Like, subscribe, all that, and that's all I gotta say.
Deuces.